Okay, so we're back. More development. An idea as I sat down here. Think maybe, just maybe, we can get through this by setting some events at the beginning and end of certain animations that set a variable. So those events call out to the code sets the variable saying that this object is immobile, and before we make any adjustments or movements, we check that to see if we're allowed to move, basically, right? Not ideal. The alternative to it is setting up a counter and a timer system, basically, that says, how long I'm immobile for, and it may or may not work because each of these animations are going to have different timings to them. So, what does that mean for us? That means that we need to take both our melee script, probably, or the base AI script, and our character controllers script, player controller script, and create a method that's immobilize and mobilize. I don't know, or something like that, right? Disable movement, enable movement. That's the whole call. So let's start with that, and it's going to be as simple as setting some variables up. So edit script, player controller. So we're going to have public full movement allowed equals true for now, right? So we set it to true by default, if I can spell true. So movement allowed, and we're going to say if movement allowed then we'll do this stuff, and this stuff goes all the way past everything, right? If movement's allowed, we'll do this stuff. If it's not, we're not going to do any of that. We're not going to set the velocity or anything. In fact, we should. Gosh, should we set it to 0? We might need to. But if movement's allowed, we'll do that. Else, there. So if it's not allowed, we'll set it to 0. In either case, we'll do all this stuff. That way the velocity does change, because otherwise it's never going to change. We'll set these variables, but it's not actually going to impact the... I mean, value's never used. Used right here. We need to do this outside of these. Not smart enough to know that they're the same. Guess we don't need that then. And we can get rid of this. Word float in front of it. There. If movement's allowed, we'll actually look for the movement. Otherwise, we're setting it to 0. Okay, and then set up a public void disable movement. And that's going to set movement allowed equals false. We'll do enable movement. And that will set it to true. Go ahead and capitalize these. So that code there also needs to go into my base AI class. That'll go ahead and be on all of these, right? And then movement allowed needs to be declared up here. Cool that. And it's going to be equal to true by default. And or movement allowed, or not movement allowed. So if it is attacking, which is one of the things we're going to do this on, so we can probably get rid of that at some point, or movement is not allowed, I'm going to set to 0 to do it. Okay, so now back over here, we're going to take our animations that we don't want to allow movement and add an event to them that calls that. So our first event we're going to work with is probably the hurt one. But the very first frame, we're going to add an event, and we're going to say, that's probably got to be public, doesn't it? And put public, did I? Did. Ew. Do I not have the controller at that level? I don't. That's a problem. I can like bubble up to it, get it that way. Like an event pass event. Yeah, these slot extra classes I don't want to have. Pass event. Bigger parent. And it's just gonna have an enable disable. same things. And it's just gonna call its parents class for these. What are we gonna call its parent? All four of them are. Aesthetic. Private. And the script that they're going to be attached to is going to be different on both of them. All because the player is different. If the player wasn't different, then it'd be okay. I need 2 of these now. One for player and one for non-player. Private, player, controller, PC. Private, base AI. AI. Going to do pc.get component and do parents get so parent transform.parent get component. Player controller. BAI. Transform parent. Get component. Trying something here. It might give me errors. I don't know. Base AI. Public void disable public void enable. We're gonna do if PC unequal null PC dot enable movement disable. AI unequal null. Setting this up so I can use it on either one, and it will just deal with whatever it needs to. Checking those for null. There we go. And then set the movement. This one. Yes. Nice. Nice. Okay. So now I just need to add this as a component to each of these and these, and apply that to the prefabs. Component. Really trying hard to glue this all together, and it's a pain. Might end up rewriting these as different sprite things. Or doesn't turn out to start getting easier soon. Creating lots of helper codes I don't really want to have to do. Okay, so down the hurt. We've got this event here. We can now hopefully set it to disable movement. We can set it another one all the way at the end. So enable movement. There we go. That works. On down. Up hurt. There. Disable movement. The last frame. Insert an event. Enable movement. Boom. That. Hurt. Disable movement. Enable movement. Take care both left and right. But male character animation events. Sword swing attack has no receiver. Let's just make sure this isn't all old stuff. That should be all I need to do, because these are also using the same events, right? Or animations. Cool. Now, play this. Comes over here. I heard him, and he stops. Yes. Something made him stop. Okay. Down. It's currently in the idle animation. Greater than 1. Come on. Why is he not trying to go down? He's lost all willpower. Speed is 0. We're not resetting hurt state. He was still hurt. He was still immobile from being hurt. So something didn't get reset there. So that was on the down state. Okay, so let's check the animation for down. Hurt. There we disable movement, and right here, enable movement. Okay. Check our code then. So the base AI enable movement says allow movement equal to. And take some debugging on this ad. So he's also attacking on it, so we need to look to see if it's disabled. Disabled. Okay. Return. Movement allowed. What am I thinking? They're not visible. Those movements allowed, we're just going to return. We're not going to set any of this up. Or are we? So, attacking defaults. Which the whole attacking thing can be handled the same way, right? So we can just say disable movement for that as well. Come at me, bro. Are you not even gonna try and attack? Feels like it's not set right. Something's not up. Movement allowed equals true. Does movement allowed? Opposite. File. Definitely needs to stop completely attacks. Go ahead and add him. I think what's happening is it's the Animation's getting interrupted somehow. Going down, can it get interrupted? Has exit time on the for anim. No, we'll still set this up. Down, swing, end of it. Add an event. The event is going to be enable movement, and at the beginning of it, add another one, and it's disabled movement. We'll just say turn it off. A swing. It'll get disabled. So no more swing, swing, swing as he's chasing you. You can swing, swing, swing away there, right? Fine. If I keep hurting him, he can't hurt me. The animation gets interrupted. Getting there slowly. He doesn't try and get any closer. He's not hitting me, is he? Oh yeah, we are. He's what's my range? Can we hit him, please? Okay, Control Shift P. Missing a receiver component? Male character up. Oh, okay, I know what it is. So we hit our hero. Yeah, okay. Got 2 events there. Up. Enable movement. Put it in. Add an event. Enable movement. Side. Then we go to swing again. Add an event. Enable movement. And add an event. Be everywhere for now, and then we'll have to do like the bow and stuff too later, right? Yeah. So, we do not have our canvas disabled by default. Don't have that panel either. Those panels, right? How does this work? Can't remember. I just automatically start disabling stuff. Unpause. Canvas set active false. We're setting the whole canvas to false. We need to set pause canvas pause. Do another canvas. That'd be cool. This UI game list. Can. Another panel. Don't really need the panel part, do I? Probably not, but we'll throw it in. Alright, panel is going to be what color? Fill the screen. Put it up the left. Okay. And then we'll add another UI component. Gosh, a raw image, but it's going to be an array of images, right? I'm going to draw. It's like we're drawing. So I'm trying to think through the health, right? All image. I don't know. Put it there. Just an example. But that image was hearts. That should do it. Sleepy. Still got another, what, 2 hours? 6 minutes? Okay, let's get away from this stuff for now. Move this for now. Go over to the scene. Zoom out. Okay, wait. Let's apply these to our character controllers. Overrides. All sorts of stuff is overridden, right? So we want to apply this melee script to everything. Yes. I'm going to apply the rigid body to everything. It takes it down quite a bit. Points have no overrides, no overrides. Nothing else has overrides, cool. Go with it like that. Let's do it. Transform on those we will leave as is. Numbers are all the same. I don't know what class that is. This as is. Okay. Hero. Want to apply the sword attack. Sword attack. tagged. It's on different layers. Maybe that's what the other things were. I just didn't look at the layer part. Yep, it affected all the tags on everything. But for player, we've got to do it. I want to see if we can just hit the massive fly all. I think we probably can't with these. Then go back over here. These saying there's different tags. Go tags. Okay, so save this. Save and save project. Okay. Maybe we should get some like ink here. Quick. Photoshop, please. Level design, overworld design. Oh, that's not the right size. Image, canvas size, I don't know. Or rectangle in that, please. What's the width gonna be? Twice as tall. There we go. So what I have envisioned so far is that there's the box tool. We're kind of building out this area right here a little bit, right? So it'll be Greenlands. Maybe down here will be a forest or something. Maybe over here will be like a swampland. Here, north, winter. Winter. Oh, that is you. Alright, I got 14 fawn. I need a straight up town. I think the mines. Desert. Back. Things. Oh. Down here. Trees. Forest. Town down here. Dark brown towns. Next to this. I don't know about those other spots. But that's the basics that I have in mind. So the winner could be like, I don't know, mountains. A little bit, maybe. I don't know. Kind of might be too much like Zelda then. Okay, so in order to support this, you know, so far we've got this little area. This is probably bigger actual Greenlands area, right? I don't know what all it's gonna have yet. There'll be sparse trees like we've got. So let's go to the tile here and tile palette. So we can do any of these basically, right? So we could have some caves in here. That's one option. In fact, let's go ahead and see if we can get this set up. Right? Let's see how we can trigger loading something else or going to a different place when the player goes to a specific spot. We've already got an interaction here, right? So if we turn off, put it in there. Collisions. Oh. Deco, that's what it is. That sign, when you collide with that sign, it does things. And it's a separate collider for that, I think. Sign interactions, yeah. So we just need to create another interaction object. That interaction object could link off to a different level altogether, perhaps. So some of these things like this, like the player, like this canvas system, might need to be in a different Unity scene, and that scene be set to always stay loaded. Save that scene. Select scene asset. There's some option that says always. That means when you just open it, another scene that pulls that stuff in. Let's create a new scene. Let's just start on this, right? Where's it? Cave 1. So save first, right? Open this, and this cave scene is going to have objects we need from here, right? So we're going to need this grid, like this, paste. Okay, and then the grid itself, we can go tile palette, eraser, collision, ground. Or deco, we want ground. Okay, that was not what I wanted. No way. Oh. That works great. Shadow, collision, interactions, deco, ground. Yeah. Okay. Save. And to make sure I didn't screw anything up in my other scene, let's go back over there. How did I do that? There we go. Okie dokie. So, gonna have this green on it though. It'll work for now. I think there's a fine fix for that. Sure. the other asset I'm gonna get. Paint. That'll be my entrance, right? Grab this one. That corner. Confused much I am. Do not understand, I do. That is why. This one, please. Two. I don't suppose we have a ground tile anywhere, do we? Hey, Blue Boy. Working on making a game, man. What are you up to? Let's do this for now. That's not like the right tile. I don't have a better tile for it, though. I don't think. Up into my Discord server. I'm on it now. I got rid of some channels. Still haven't seen like the modern channel though. Texas modding channel still 41 other. Okay, so that should be there. Let's just try and load this from the other one when we run into the door. Okay, so now we're in this one. Let's put a place where we can build this. You're welcome. It had several people suggesting that I do it because like when you're not a partner with Twitch, you can't, your viewers can't change what resolution they watch it in. Whatever you stream it in is all they can see. No options. But if you're partnered, people can change it. That up. How did I mess that up? I don't have an official name for it yet. It's um, action adventure game, heavily inspired by Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Happy New Year to you. Not quite here from me yet. I've got another hour and 47 minutes. They're inspired by it, but it's not like not a clone really, per se. New. Okay, so that'll be that. This I did this all wrong. It's on Deco. Dang it. Yeah, that should not be on Deco. Gonna erase from Deco. This game. Oh, really? Not seeing where the. So if you're that close, you're probably in the same state as me, because I am in the center of the state. Pretty much in the center state. Big state. Picker. Okay. Still close. Yeah. Now we're getting something. This needs to be not on collision, but on ground so that we can walk into it. Grass needs as well. Delete those. Brush that in. Like that. So the idea is I'll be able to walk over here, walk into that then. So let's create a new empty object. Cave their action. And put this in prefabs. Okay, and this is just going to have some component on it, or a collision, a bounding, blocks, collider. I'll answer no, but not because I don't like fan fiction stuff, but more, I don't have time to read a bunch. It's more like it. Zoom in on that now. Like my wife, I told my wife, hey, there's a book I might like. You can get me. Go and got it, and sitting on my desk. It's about Christmas. I haven't started looking at it yet. Kevin Mitnick, Ghost in the Wires. Sounded like a very interesting read. So Kevin Mitnick was one of the early hackers of phone systems. He ended up in FBI most wanted list and stuff. It just sounds interesting to read because he has I heard he has stories in it where he knew the FBI was coming for him, so he got rid of all the evidence they would use against him, and then went to the bakery and got donuts with the FBI and put the FBI on the lid of the donuts, put them in his freezer. Next day they came to his house. Like he was tracking them, kind of thing. What is that on? Ground? On the ground. On interactions. Okay. Tile palette. On collisions. Gone now? Okay. Scared about. Whatever. You're writing fan fiction for a guy that develops powers. Trying to track him down and go. Here, so now we just need to add the component for our script, which we can use the. I have this attached to my cursor there. Find interaction as a guideline for this for the 2D. All it really needs to have. Cave interaction. Hello. Dacia? Did I say that? Interaction is out here. Set scripts, please. Open, please. Hey, thanks for the follow. Phoenix Firewings. Just starting on the caves, so that was the plan. We'll see. I'm building that right now, how to enter the caves. So my idea in my head right now is these are all collidable, so these tiles here are collidable. This is not. Tile is not collidable, so I can walk into it. However, I've got this empty game object with a box 2D collider on it that is set up as a trigger, and I'm writing the code now that's basically going to change the level. At least that's the idea. And I was going to need to do a lot more than that, but I'm just trying to get that far right now. So using... I know there's another class we need. Another import we need, but I can't remember what it is. Not levels. Team management. So SC manager.load level. Load scene. It's the build index, right? Scene name. Cave 1. I might need to go to the build menu for this to work. If I remember right. I didn't even check if that's a player. So my sign interaction has all that taken care of. Pokemon, no. Although these sprites would look probably pretty good for Pokemon. Think more along the lines of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. That style of it. Not an exact clone, but something like that. Go ahead and run this. Oh. So here's my bad guy, for example. Just examples right now. It's not. This is me working on it a little yesterday and today. So, Audacia, it's gonna matter how many caves you have and how big the scene is and how many objects are in it, right? That would be the biggest thing. I just walked through it and it didn't do anything. In cave 1, not be loaded because it's not been added to the build. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, I had to go there. So like if you've got 1,000 objects in each cave, and there's 100 caves, and you're trying to do them all in one thing, then why'd I choose Unity over Unreal or CryEngine? I've been tinkering with Unity for a ridiculous amount of time, like multiple years, so I already know how to do a lot of stuff in it. That's pretty much the main reason. Yeah. Oh no. No, not don't. No, I didn't mean it. The world. What's this? Boom. Loaded the level. Works for me. And then I guess in that level, we'll need to do one of two things. So we'll either need to set some objects. We're gonna have to start doing this. So I need like my canvas, my event system will need to be as part of an always loaded object or always loaded scene. Let's create yet another scene, I guess, huh? Great thing. There we go. We want something like that, right? Where we've got a main camera in here. That main camera. Got our canvas and event systems in there. And we've got our young hero character in there. This is part of this world. These are part of the world. That's part of the world. Okay. But now if I play this, does this remain loaded? It's smaller so I can see. Vector. My animation still works. Okay, it didn't remain loaded, but because I need to do additive. Scene manager dot load scene A1 scene mode. Sure. Close. Load scene. Something like that, so we can close the overworld out. Oop. Deprecated. Destroys all game object related to this given scene. Person from the scene manager. Unload scene as async. Okay. We test this and then I've got to let my dog out. Let me let up. Be there in a second. What I'm gonna do is I will leave the game running though. I'm getting off. Okay, it didn't work. Now, is that because we did the unload? I don't know. Do one more test. Come on, come pop faster! Whoosh. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh. Okay, let's do this. Set this up. And hey, thank you for the follow. This, so this full screen, and you can watch this wonderful guy run back and forth. Put my AFK thing up. I will be right back. Hello. Okay. Let's try it again now that I've got that extra load scene statement out of there that I kept in there for some reason. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. So we've got the cave loaded and the overworld loaded. Not what I wanted, but that's what we got. Why didn't it? Oh yeah, we didn't teleport. We'll get there. We'll get there. 265. Did you even hear the music? Earlier, were telling me that music was too loud and they couldn't hear me, so I turned it down pretty extreme. I don't know if it's still audible or not. Hey, there we go. Oh, it worked. Then I just need to move him. That's no big deal. That's transform. 0-0. Wherever the appropriate point is. I could even like have a script that runs on load. Don't need this, do we? Do need the grid though. So get out of pause mode. Escape. Pause still works. Awesome. Pause right there. We'll move around. Except for the fact that all these are colliders and I was stupid. But back to overworld, and it no longer has always loaded. So we gotta load always loaded and then load the other one. Interesting. Add scene. We could do this too, right? So we could say scene manager current get active that way it unloads whatever we're in, takes us to the appropriately named scene, right? So what's going on here? Public scene name string scene to code. I don't think it was, dude. Oh. Inspector, recognize that? That'd be awesome. That's going to be under cave interaction. Files. I doubt it. Beeping at me. Try to beep. I don't know. Gives the handle. Not what I want though. Just easy take cave one. And numbers. I don't remember what number it is. How would I remember that? I know it's the build order, but okay. Save? Yeah. File errors, really? Oh, God bless. Like this type of unload scene async, async is exactly what I need. So that main always loaded scene stuff, we load that first from the main menu. So we have the main menu, okay. Then we just straight up load always load. Okay, always loaded, and inside always loaded, there's a script that will load overworld when Boys Loaded starts. Good work. Yeah. These are the things that I love about Unity. Like the way that it works, so straightforward. Like to create this script on this thing and have this thing tied to an object that's just sitting there and you just walk into that object, boom, good. Maybe the other game engines do that too. I don't know. I just like the way Unity does it. Because now I've got that as a prefab. When I create another cave, all I have to do is change this name, right? And move it to where I want it in the world. I'm good to go. I've got that other cave loading. Guess I'll have to create the scene for it. That's another. Let's save this. Let's go in here. A tile palette. Let's fix this scene up a bit because I know these are on the wrong collision. Okay. Come on, eraser it. You guys have it. Being on the collision one gives them a collision on the mucks. Brush. I'm gonna go to ground this time. I think we selected like okay. Underneath. Yeah. And I guess, right, so we've got this handy dandy prefab. We can just drag right here. Okay. So we don't want to do that yet. We need to go back to the other scene, and this is still something that's getting me a little bit about the new prefab system. Like these overrides and stuff. I want to apply all that. So I want both of those to be part of the prefab itself. So now when I look at the prefab for the cave interaction, the prefab has both. Take that out. There we go. Now we can go back into this cave one and get rid of the camera. Don't need a save. And go to interactions, cave interaction, drop it right there, and we'll just drag it into the door a bit. That should be good. Now we go here. We'll say overworld. Capital W. Oh. In fact, that probably should be the default part of the prefab. I'm going to apply that to all, and then we'll go back to overworld, because all caves will have an exit to the overworld, right? And the other caves will not have an exit to, or the ones in the overworld will have an exit to a specific different cave, so we'll always have to override it. This is just safer this way. Okay, so that's that one. And this one, dang it, fold like that. Apply all, and then I need to go into the cave and then override that again. Wait, that's right. This one. Okay, and then save this, and then inside my cave, I can set a player spawn point. Player spawn. Start location. What we'll call it. And we'll set it right there. Add a component. Move player to this on start. I think the old version of Unity used to let you just hit enter there, because I keep wanting to hit enter. Start. Game object dot find object with tag. Player. Transform position equals this transform position. Boom. Update. So if all works, we can go to scenes. Save this first. Go to scenes. Go to overworld. Add this additive, so it gives our player. Run it. He's messing up back there now. Walk into this cave. Takes us right in. Awesome. And I can't walk out because I probably have a collision box on that. But that's okay. We're... Yes. It's working. Back to the cave. Grid. This one is collision. Yeah, see, it's got the collision box on. Okay. So to tile maps on the collision one. So we delete this and this, and then we take this and paint it not on collision but on ground. Why is the grid shifted though? There we go. Paint that, and then paint the bottom part as well. Why it looked funny. So, I don't know why I have a problem saying the name. Audacia? Audacia? Hopefully this method helps you, right? This seems to be working pretty easy. You set a start location where you want them to go. Trigger that so when this level loads, that's where it goes. Now, if you had multiples in there, then you'd have to be more specific, right? So maybe your trigger on your overworld cave entrance would say, would get the specific location, right? Or the specific game object at the location you want to teleport to, and then you just teleport it. You don't have to do this load level stuff. I'm doing the load level stuff because my world might get kind of big. I know I've got tile maps, so that'll help. Like, I'm using the Unity tile map system. So those should be on the ground now. That should allow me to go back and forth. So let's save this. Back here, go to overworld. I'm gonna open it. Additive. This one we will load additive. Play. I might need to create a menu next. There we go, we're in. I can make the whole... So it would have unloaded the current scene and loaded overworld. Didn't unload the current scene. It unloaded a different current scene. Ah, that's dirty. Simple fix. So on the main cave interaction system, on this script, okay, so we've got a scene to unload and a scene to load. We were saying the get active scene, so it probably has to do with the order they're in. Let's see. Integer. Get active scene dot is loaded. Because it kept the overworld loaded somehow. Might have been the order they were loaded in. Okay, let's test it one more time without maximize. Let's just. We want always loaded just to remain always loaded, right? Always loaded is at the top, so that's what's going to get removed. Single or additive? Five overloads, huh? I'm thinking I just give it a name to unload and be done. That way I'm forcing it to unload a specific one. This direct collects all load scene parameters into a single place. What are those parameters? Physics. Okay. Don't worry about that stuff. Yeah, let's just do scene to unload. Done. Public string DENE unload. Boom. And then we say scene to unload right here. And we go out of play mode. It compiles. Come on. There we go. And on the overworld version of it, we say the scene to unload is overworld. Let's see. Can I just apply one of these? That takes care of this. This overworld unload and cave 1 to load. And then in cave 1 we do just opposite. Okay. And maybe there's something I could do a little bit more slick than that, but this works. It's easy. The camera here. So that now out of place. 5. There. Like I want it to go all, like you go into the door all the way. As soon as you touch it, you're gone. Camera. So let's do this. Let's create a scene. A menu. Put a little basic UI on it, right? Panel. Screen. Add a button. It's stupid looking start screen for right now. Start! Button. Add a component to the event system. Yes. Aim, menu, handler. But I think you used to be able to hit enter on that and just go. Come on. Alright. No, actually load this file. Like, move it on you and then you're gonna complain to me. Void, start game. Click. Go, an event system, button, button, okay, object. Okay, so that code will fire when we click that button. This code is going to be based off of scene manager stuff. Unity entered engine dot scene management. Dot code scene. Hold. I think. Scene manager code scene, I think. Code scene mode dot additive. This one we're going to load scene mode dot. I think so it replaces what's currently there. The main menu. Come on. Hey. Looks stupid because it's just going to be a button. Let's start. The main menu stayed. And it always loaded, and it did not. I know why. We didn't add it to the build. So open it. Had to drag in there. Oh, you can. That's a better way to do it. Main menu. That is not main menu. So in the build order, that needs to be number 1. And that's another reason to not go by build number, index. You can change them. Main menu's not even in here. That should be number 1. There we go. Start. Overworld loads. Got overworld and always loaded going. Go in here. Gives us the cave and back to the overworld. Now that was interesting. So it took us back to the overworld in the center. So we need to have in our cave interaction back out a location to go. That's harder. I think I know why it did that. I think I know a way that's possible to fix it. I don't know that I like that way. So what we could do is take our cave and put the entrance at the same location that our overworld entrance is located at. So put the cave at this coordinate basically, right? Pass his input and store it, right, but how are you going to pass it? That's the problem. Because you're going to unload that object. And hi, Trayer. Hello.
Hello.
You've got a good way of storing it, let me know. I could put it on the player, couldn't I?
I was gonna say, aren't there variables somewhere? Either at level,
You're breaking up for me.
at world level. Yeah, you. I didn't know if it was me or you. I heard you breaking up.
Oh. Yeah, so because I'm changing scenes, all of the objects get destroyed and recreated except for the stuff in the always loaded. So that's where I was saying I could put it on the player. Because that's one of those objects in the always loaded stuff. This young hero character is always loaded. The store like last overworld location.
Okay. Otherwise, you're going to be a data.
It's like he's trying to talk to us. I think I'm gonna have to do that. Let's put it on my player controller. Script. So that means my cave interaction just got more complicated. Yeah. Well, and thank you for the follow, Citizen of the World. Thinking long term, I'm gonna have to write things to disk, right? If this is the type of game I want it to be, then it's not a play it in one session, right? You're gonna need to know what your current state is, the items you might have collected, the things you've unlocked in the world, things like that. So I'm gonna have to write something to disk at some point that you can save your progress. I'm just, we'll call it 6 hours in the development of it, maybe. Maybe. I'm gonna have to do more than just player. Like, it's gonna have to be a lot of things. Thinking long term. Right. To the world, yes. I don't think you can save manager save. I don't think so. The saving in Unity is like you've got preferences. Player preferences. Player prefs dot save. Then whatever your preferences are. Created. I don't know. I haven't worked with them enough. That string, that int, that float. You can set a bunch of variables basically. Pull them out of there, but that's if you only want one save game file, right? Which might be fine for what I want to do. So we've got a reference to the player because this collision is the player basically. Game object, get component. Let's say player controller. Find the player controller file. Say public vector 3 last overworld.
Hi, Trevor.
Yeah. Gotcha. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. Oh. Discord's been hating me lately. Equals. And then we'll just get the collision. Dot. Game object dot position. Dot transform. Position. So that should get our position in the overworld and save it. But we only want to save it when we're going to somewhere other than overworld. So scene.load. Where, I don't know, if the where scene to unload equals only save it when we're coming from the overworld, basically, right? And then if scene to load equals overworld, assuming we're already loaded at this point, then we'll say just the opposite. Say the collision player's game position equals all of that junk set. Ta-da! Let's get out of the game. Out of the game. Or in the main menu. Hit play. Start. And we're in the overworld. Right spot in the world. Get in there. Oh. I hate that. It worked too perfectly. It saved the position where we were inside the collider and then instantly teleported us back into there. There is an alternative to that. Right, add an offset, exactly. So what I'm thinking I'll do is in my prefab for the cave, I'm going to add another empty object and it'll be the return location. And in our script, then, instead of going to saving the player's location, we'll save the return location and put the player at the return location. Instead of this part, we're gonna do this. We're gonna say public transform turn location. Say return location. Top position. That, if I can get the case the same. No. I'll show you why in a second. And that's why I'm doing it as a separate object, so I can move it. The scene, I go to overworld and look at my cave interaction now. So I've got this additional object. Boop. That'll be its return location. That's the collider, that's the return location. In fact, we can just put it right in the middle of that block even. Okay, so that takes care of this version of it. And this transform is going to be different, so we're going to have a variant of these prefabs. Barry, do you remember Unity from before? They had prefabs, and if you change one prefab, it changed all the prefabs everywhere, and you couldn't have nested prefabs? They fixed all that, and it's awesome now. Very awesome. This needs to be here. Better that way to help with level design. Nicer if you can set it needs it. Exactly. So, and it's return location, right? So, it's not like you have to say, oh, go here in the other level. It's come back here in this level. It's easy to just drag it around. Cave. Save this one, yes. So, our return location for this. Ah, see, I don't have to do this player start location jump then either. Or no, this one doesn't matter, does it? So we've got the code set up so it only saves it going from the overworld. Player start location still needed. This one doesn't need to be hooked up. Like, I'll throw this in here just so it's consistent. But the return location's not gonna get saved. Save. In menu. Play. Working. The other thing to keep in mind is the orientation of the cave entrance and exit. So you'd want them to be the same, right? So that you're coming in, going up, so that as you walk into it, you continue to walk into the cave and not back into the door out. Same thing going out. So I'm walking down, and walking down walks away from that collider. You wouldn't ever want to flip it. And it wouldn't make sense to, really. Just an extra reason to put that way. And my entrance is messed up. It's not perfectly in line. I have to walk to the side. Okay. What if you can add some angle to those colliders? But it kind of just funnels you into the doors rather than getting stuck on the edges. Well, I'm using the tile system in Unity now, which is new. This version again. And you see this green line? It wraps it around the geometry of the sprite itself. There's probably a way I could edit it, but it's easier just to have it like this. Way easier. So let me go to the overworld and show you something. This tree. Really, there's something you can do to help guide right doors. Yeah, there's some things I've already done. Where is it? Why can't I see it? Deposit colliders expanded. Vector collider. In like a magnet or something? Oh, I can't see it on here for some reason. It's disabled. Huh. Oh, there it is. Can't see it because of the grass. Ground off. When I go back here, you'll see that outline. It did that for me. Can't walk into that tree. So it's nice in some regards, right? So it's an all or nothing. And what I've got it set up is I've got different tile map layers. So your ground, your decorations on the ground, shadows, which I'm not using right now, interactions, so things that you want to interact with that are just different than the ground, on top of the ground, like a sign, for example, and then collisions, so that you can't walk into these objects. So there's all the collisions, right? Plus a few interactions. That's all. Actions, deco. So those are the collision objects that you physically can't walk into. And then it's just a matter of combining it with the right layer underneath. Get that kind of look. Back on. Okay, so we've got the ability to go into a cave. We've got the ability to come out of a cave. That was really the goal. I'm not trying to design the cave itself right now. I'm just trying to get it set up. All these little components of a bigger game, right? And then come back and build out what the game is. What other type of actions might we need to do? This is gonna mess up, isn't it? Yeah, it's not gonna. Right. I'm gonna have to always start the main menu now. Annoying, but it works. So I've got the ability to swing my weapon. This is a little AI baddie. He's got an ability to swing a weapon. Maximize this. I can hurt him. He can't hurt me right now. But I can hurt him. If I can catch him. He's set up to patrol between two different points. Like that. Trying to think back to what other mechanics I want to have from other games and stuff. Chest would be cool. I don't have a chest sprite right now. I will. I don't right now. Inventory, items. Show you this, Dreyer. Assuming you're slightly interested in the stuff if you're watching. So this is an asset on the asset store where I got this stuff, like sprites and stuff from, right? This one, he's got it set up. So here's my character, and if I go and say double click on, I don't know, his headwear. He doesn't have a hat on right now, but if I drug this into there, boom, he's got a hat on. Grab the wrong one. So one that's facing down. Boom, he's got a hat on. And then he set this sprite up, update sprites, that updates the other directions, right? So this is the down version of it, there's an up version of it, and there's a sideways version of it. It'll update all of them to match that same helmet though. Kinda cool. And then, see how he's green? He does it with sprite render colors. Like you change it to whatever color you want. So it makes a easy way to make a bunch of different varieties of this same sprite or same character. And if I look at the prefabs here that came with this, got all these different ones. The scale's off and all. Don't worry about that. Naked guy. I mean, this just gives you some examples of what. Yeah, so I got this off the asset store. On Unity's asset store. Because I've been trying for months and months and months to get my skills as an artist up to be able to make my own game, right? And it just wasn't gonna happen. I finally realized. Like, I was getting okay with it. Let's see if I can open one of them. But it's just not where I want it to be. And by the time I would get there, it would have been too long. This just sped me along quite a bit. Depths, assets, PS. So night attack, let's say. I was gonna do like a old school bit based or pixel based. Things like that. I was trying. It just looked like poop. I wasn't ever happy with it. So this particular one I'm going for might have some demon depths stuff to it, but right now, no. Maybe a dungeon or two will be random generated. I don't know. The one I was opening up was another concept I was going for. That was going to be like a 2D side-scrolling Demon Depths. It was just going to infinitely go on. This is more Legend of Zelda: Link to the Pasty. I've probably said a billion times tonight. So here's my tile maps. Or tiles for all these, right? So I can add some bridges and stones and bushes and things like that, right? To the terrain. Some of these, not this particular one, but some of these sprites I think are also animated, so I could make the waterfall animated, for example. So like these water tiles here, I think some of these frames are the animations. I don't know which ones, that's why I haven't started messing with it yet. It's kind of hard to just visually see it and say, oh, that's the animated version of it. Of frame 12, right? I mean, there's another one of these somewhere like this. What's just between this and this? It's so slight. Anyway. So I took these, which were not built for Unity's tile map system, and made them into tiles using Unity's tile map system. Where's it? Palettes, overworld tiles. So I made them a Unity tile map. I've also got some rule tiles that I've started. So if you paint with this rule tile, it's got 40 different things to select from randomly in this particular case. Most of them being just regular green grass, solid block, but there are these ones that are different for some variations of it. So you don't have to sit there and, oh, I'm going to paint the whole thing green, and then I'm going to randomly pick these spots that are going to have the decorations. No, you just pick this, you say fill the whole area, boom, it does all the randomizations for you. I need to do more tile maps like that, or rule tiles like that. But I was starting small, right? Because I had to pay a little bit for these. It wasn't expensive, but it wasn't free, right? And I didn't want to go hog wild and buy 10 different asset packs for all these different tiles if I couldn't get this working. So, trying to save a little bit by doing it this way. But so far, it's not been a failure at all. I don't see why I can't do this. You probably haven't seen this part of it. I loaded the wrong level. I'm gonna have to start doing the build menu. Start. Oh. Push play. Start. If I walk over to the sign, it tells you what's on the sign. Okay. It's just another interactable 2D collider, 2D box collider. You walk into it, it triggers the code that opens up the GUI stuff here. Pauses the game too. You'll see this guy in the background, not moving. They walk into it, he stops moving. That was actually way easier than I thought it would be to get the whole game to stop. You just set a variable that's called timescale. I'm along the same opinion as you. Yes, I probably can. This was the quick proof of concept. The next step is to, when you get near it and that collider goes off, it brings up a bubble with like 3 dots to indicate that there's something there that you can interact with, and then you hit the interact button while you're in that collider, and boom, it works. But this was quick and dirty. Because that would just annoy me, right? I walk past that, I have to hit a button. obviously the AI needs, right? He sees you, he swings at you, and as soon as you move out of his way, he don't care. He needs to follow you and stuff like that. And I got him set up from a level design standpoint, like we were talking a minute ago, to be efficient to build, right? So on him, there's these 2 waypoints that you place in the world. And those are the points he patrols between. He goes to point 1, and then starts to point 2, and then when he gets there, he goes back to point 1. So if I all of a sudden wanted him to just patrol on this hill, I just move this up here. I'm good to go. Play it. He'll go up there. Ah, okay. He's kind of retarded. That's why I had the 1 point next to the stairs. Once he gets up there, he'll patrol back and forth between them. It's just navigating, setting the velocity towards the X and Y position of those points, basically. Caching the points up front, because those points would be moving with him as they're a child object of him. So when the game starts up and he gets loaded, if I do... Where is it? Okay, it's up there. See how it's moved up and away from him? So instead of him patrolling between those 2 points that are constantly moving because they're relative to him, when the code runs to start this on him, it says, where is this location, where is this location, and it just saves them as vector 3s. And then really those objects are no longer used after that. Original objects. I could remove them. Save some memory. Is it built in Pathfinding? No, I built that. There is the Unity nav mesh stuff. Maybe that would work. I don't know how it would work in a top-down game, though. It's mostly built for... what's it called? .3D games. I could try it. I might have to at some point, but for now this is working just fine. Like, there's nothing stopping me from having it say go after the player next, right? The only thing would be is if there's an obstacle in this path, he would stop and just push against the obstacle, whereas the nav mesh would find a way around the obstacle. I don't know how performant it would be either. Size of the world I'm trying to think of building may not be efficient. So, what else is there? We got caves. We need dungeons, but dungeons would work basically like a cave interaction, right? So there'll be a variant of it and just give it a different name. That's even good. Sign interactions, NPC interactions, I guess, right? Maybe we could work on that bubble thing we talked about. What's the last interactable object that you've collided with? And when you exit it, it sets a variable saying, hey, don't interact with me anymore. You can only hit the button basically when you're inside the collider. Try something like that, right? So let's see, is there anything in here I can use as an example? Something that looks decent? Probably not what I want. Like, I just want a 32 by 32 bubble. Make it bigger than that though. 128. Interaction bubble. Lips. Boom. Horrible color. Black right now. Start from like over here. Oh, that's huge. Oh, that's not working. See what I mean? I just crap at Photoshop. Not what I want either. I want a polygon tool. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a freaking speech bubble. Oh, that's... And then let's just make it white. Amazing. And then, okay, so I do know some things. I'm getting better. So if I do this and then select, modify, subtract, boom. It's a couple pixels. Let's do it again. Subtract. And then shift click that. Now we've got this going on, right? And then I do shifty, full shift I. Now only that stuff's selected. So if I go to my paint tool here, roll up my size real big, boom, outline. Boom, boom, boom. Now, this. Of course, you're gonna move the white background. Save it. And not demon depths. One Tesla. Don't look at that crap. This is not pixelated, this is. Because I was working with pixel stuff before, pixel art. I'm gonna do this now. Let's do this. Like that, that, and if I do refine edge, nope. Maybe it's feather. No pixels with more than 50% selected. Selected edges will not be visible. Okay, not sure what that means. Select. Feather. Does not like us. What does that mean? You can see more than 50% of this? Oh, no, there's nothing selected that time. It's down here. It's just that down there. No. We want like a gradient. And that's cool, it's green now. Suck at Photoshop. It's still blocky. Oh. Oh, art radius? None of those look like what I want. Yeah, no. Nope. Nope. Grab that, delete it. That, delete it. Grab that, delete it. G. That's color, yep. Boom, boom. Grab that. Select. Smooth? There, yeah, that's it. So we need to modify, contract, let's say 4 pixels. Nice big fat area, and we'll smooth it. Say this, and then I, B for that. Okay, and then we select, modify, tract, 1 pixel, and we'll get like a 50% gray. I like that. Let's. Oh. That's a little better. Oop. Oop. Okay. Saved. PSD is how many tile or units? 128. Okay. 8. We want point. Apply sprite editor. 5. Be a single sprite. So if I just drag that up there, it's got that rough hard edge on the outside. That's what I don't want. Okay. So let's do this then. Got the black selected. All the inside selected as well. uh, tolerance up a bit. Okay, quick selection tool. Why not use outer inner shadow? Probably a genius. I didn't even consider it. That's why. Really? Trying to just make it easy instead of making it complicated. The blur tool. What is the blur tool? I don't think I've ever used the blur tool. Oh, you. Thank you. Thank you. That is what I needed, right? It softens that edge. Thank you. Real thank you. And then let's add the drop shadow that we talk about. Outer glow doesn't have to be a color that's a glow color. It'd be black. Pretty. Drag that number. That spread size. I want it a little darker, so I'm trying to get opacity. That down. That looks nice. Offers great amount spread. And let's add a new layer then for the dots. Make them a color other than white so they show up, huh? Or just that? Oh, that's not. Thank you! Thank you again, Phoenix! I have learned my new favorite tool, I believe. The blur tool. Better. Being compressed. Not quite sharp. Off along the top edge, right? Yeah, so I need to see what's going on. Wife cinch, that feels very good. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm not back before the new year, which is still 60 minutes away, so good chance I will be back for. Happy New Year, everyone. Way back.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my head shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you. 'Cause it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, not because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if
Oh, my headphones. Come back to me, headphones. There we go. They're getting harder to turn on. Just save you a copy of the game. Okay. You can be one of my beta testers when I get there, right? But it needs to touch up some more, right? I'm not liking the disjointed top to it. That's the word. Eraser. So can I move? Isn't there a smudge tool? And move you? Does not work like I thought. Let's see. Oh, but there is the transform tool, right? So I could grab these pixels specifically, and then V. Oh. And these. That just looks worse. I bet it didn't smudge because I was on the wrong layer. Okay, and then our key this. Back to smudge. What key are you? There we go. A couple other spots that need to touch up picture too, it looks like. Control D. Smudge tool. These tools are nice. Why don't I ever use these before in Photoshop? Always like ignored them completely. That one move is bad. See, like that. There, at least it looks uniform now, right? Little bubble there. Maybe I just need to make it really big and then shrink it down too. How's that look? Better. No one's gonna be that zoomed in on it anyway. Right? The world is like that big by normal means. Camera's not here so I can't tell. But it's like normally like that size, right? That's even big, right? Big. Gosh. I could scale it in like 0.5. Too small. There we go. And we'll just create this as a prefab then. And we can use this as a nested prefab maybe? Kind interaction. There we go. And it just is not going to be visible. And we'll edit the script. So we're going to take in public interaction bubble. Oh, and I was told by my wife I must be with her at midnight. So in a couple minutes, I'm gonna go again. Back here. Here's my little streamer timer tool that I keep created for my intros. I set it to midnight. Couple minutes. Action bubble. If it's a player, we're gonna say interaction bubble set active. True. On trigger enter. Same thing, I'm gonna say false. Yeah, I guess we could just use the interaction button on this. Avoid update, right? Yeah, and it's input get the button down. Ecode easy. That like ecode.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold of me and won't let go. I've been sleeping,
Oh, okay.
caught me off my guard.
That works? I don't think that's how it works. Okay, so I'm gonna go run upstairs. We got 2 minutes here. Happy New Year's, everybody. I'll be back after bed. Another 5-10 minutes maybe. Gotta get kids off to bed too. They're up there watching something. Happy New Year. Be back. Hello. Happy New Year. What were we doing? Close that now. We don't need that. Oh, right. Gonna do this down here. I don't think that's how get button down works, if I remember right. And we need to set like a button for that. So give it a name. I'm going to project settings. Yes, input. Come on, input. Keep up, computer. So we've got horizontal fire one. Let's create another one. 19. Boom. This one shall be called Interact. Well, 4, 3, 4. Elevate that down with my mouse keyboard. Like this. Here we go. I'm going to sneeze. Ooh, caught that just time. Interact. Now, if and this active need a it's fine. It's fine. We'll never forget to do that, right? To set this. We won't because we'll define it in the. Come on, come on. Come on. You can do it. We'll define it in the prefab. Cool. Overrides, apply all. That's the only one we got, so it's fine. Now if we go into that one, got that, and it's got that. Yeah, cool. We're good. It's forever in a day set. So now back to main menu. Scenes, please. Main menu. Save. Boom. Start the game. Walk over to it. It pops up and it goes away. I hit the E key and we get it. Hit the E key over here, nothing happens. Ha ha! It's like I know what I'm doing. So if you're still there, Trey, it is possible to do like we wanted. I'm walking over here, the bubble pops up, I hit E, and it does it. If I don't hit E, it doesn't do it. I walk right past it. Which means that we can also use that same concept with NPCs, which is really what I was going for. Right? I don't want to have to interact with every single NPC that might be walking around in the game. Stationary or not, like just walk past them and they're like, ooh, hi. Because we can. So that also tells me I can increase the size of this collision box, right? So I originally kept it very small, thinking that it would be annoying. Now we can make it bigger. F on it. It also means we can change the position of it. We can set it right there. 1.5. And then set the size, say 2. Yeah. Go ahead and apply all those so that the bounding box size gets updated in all occurrences of this. And we went to the wrong scene again. Start. Hit E. Oh. Make this guy not look so dumb. Right character here. Waypoints are way out of whack from where they need to be. So he's gonna patrol up and down the road, right? Point 2. And it's gonna main menu. Need to change out this for my button pack. It's button thing. Whoa. Oh really? I missed you? Hmm. Apply those transforms because they're just positions of horizontal axis. What all? Apply all, please, so you stop telling me there's something different there. Okay, so in the base guy, his speed is a little fast. Down the 3. Build settings, main menus first. Let's do a build and run so we get an actual executable. See what it does. Let's do one folder builds. Okay. Two errors. Unity build player window. Do you know how I can install the Unity tile map asset? So in the version of Unity I have, it was part of Unity to have a tile map. You can just automatically come over here and say right click 2D tile map, and there's different flavors of tile maps that they support now too. The hexagons, isometric, etc. I've only ever worked with the tile map version. But if you have an older version of Unity, there is a GitHub page that you can go to and get them. The other place is, if depending on your version, there's a package manager. I don't know if it would show up in that in the older version, but it's built into Unity now. You don't have to do anything. So the packages, tile map. I'm running 2018 3 0 F2. Yeah. It depends on what you want to do, right? If you've got a bunch of projects that are in the older version, sometimes it can cause some problems. If you don't, then sure, yeah, go for it. I've been using the Unity Hub to do all. So let me launch this real quick. You can manage different installs, different versions of Unity. So you can say official releases, and just say download that specific version you want. You're good to go. It does it all. And then when you create a new project, you go to your project and say new. It'll ask you which version. Somewhere. Oh no, it goes off of the default version you pick. So over in installs, you can say, this is my preferred version. It's a nice little tool. It helps keep you up to date with all of the unit stuff. Really, air building asset, male character up. Transition any state to downswing. In any state transition to downswing does not exist. So it can't build it because it's got an animation issue. So that could be some of the problems we're having. Now character down. That console is saying any state to downswing. Transition to state downswing, which does not exist in the controller. What do you mean it doesn't exist? That doesn't make any sense at all. Asset male character up. Oh, up. How does it have downswing? With the up version. What? Let's look at the prefab. Open prefab. Male character up, it says. This one. There is no transitions there at all. There's none like floating out in the middle of nowhere. Am I gonna have to recreate this whole thing? That would stink. Entry to idle. From hurt to up or idle. Commit. There's nothing else there. Why is it saying this? Any state downswing in state any state. Transition to downswing. Okay, male character up. Great. This means I can't build this project because I don't have whatever this is talking about fixed. Doesn't make any sense unless it's in a different layer. Different layer. Oh. The state's empty there too. Okay, let's try this. Right there. That is bogus. That's what it's complaining about. That was rough. If I wouldn't have been able to find that, that would have been the end of the game. Save. Save project. Build and run, please. Try it again. Nice. Ultra quality. Yes. We have an interact. Maybe. Goes into the menu, please. Hit start, and we're in the game. Run it full screen. Awesome. Our interactable object is not working at all. Did not work. That did. Needs a little bit of a transition to play. Like when you go into here, you should animate the screen shrinking or expanding out. And the same thing in reverse when you go back to this one. You should animate the screen shrinking. This has got me concerned why this isn't working all of a sudden. That still. Okay. That's wrong. Didn't show that. There's no way to exit the game. Alt F4. That would be good to have, huh? Yo, so why isn't this interacting like it should? Our collision box is there. Let's just try it in player. Maybe it's something with the build. That's good. That's a stink. Right. That stinks. Why didn't it show up before? Much higher than it was. Because we moved that object, didn't we? Go prefabs, interactions, sign interaction. Focus on that. It's weird. Let's make this layer. Put it on top of everything. Put it on 10. Topmost. Here we go. Save that. Apply all there. Okay. Eric'sville. I think we can get rid of that version. No, no, no. Interesting. It's taking this as this image for it. How does that work? How do you change the image then? Okay. Unity prefab image. Create prefab from image files. How to make a picture of a prefab. Maybe it's just because it has a sprite render and these don't, right? So using is all get out though because they look the same. This is who. I wonder if that one transition that was messed up caused some of the animation glitches we were having earlier. Go over the asset store over here. We'll do one or two more things and I'll probably call it a night because I don't want to stay up too late tonight because later this week I do have to work again. So let's go to my asset store. Oh, Game Jam. What? That's new. Huh. Well, fine. Great. Thanks, Unity. Yeah. Let's go to my assets again. Let's see, where is it? Xmesh Pro, nope. 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 Oh, I got it. Icons. VR monsters. There we go. 40 sweet buttons. Import! Sweet buttons number 6. Let's go with like the 5s. We'll do blue, I guess. The button image. 5- blue. Really? Okay, graphics. What am I? I won't go. Why? What are those then? Yeah. It's a pain. I still haven't gotten a complete hang of the UI stuff. Panels seem to help, but it's a pain still. It is. Is that what we want? That's what we want. Looks better. Maybe the green? Green looks pretty cool. This panel, though, seems to be changing colors of things. There we go. And this main camera should not be blue. I hate the blue as the default. Okay. Nothing happens when I go over it. Thought the buttons had a state for that. There we go. Highlighted color is that. Normal color is a little bit gray. There we go. And highlighted color is rest color. I don't know, I'm making this up. Disabled color would be like olive black. Don't show our other guy here. Now when I hover over it, what's do? Lights up. That works. For now. It's interesting that's visible. Shouldn't be. Now save, fix that. Sign. Interaction. Need to disable this by default. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. If I hold the red 10 around it, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that works. I almost want the interactive event to disable this too, but I have to move your finger over to escape. Can we do an animation? Oh, good. Those rocks are different. Vision rock should look like this. There we go. Better integrated that way. Echo. Lava set. Boom. Cause I can. To ground. Little path.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me. Wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the
Just having that flower there doesn't make as much sense now.
you could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. For the second chance to say I'm nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby. I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right away, got so much time looping in the blurry lights. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night.
Cool.
Get in my groove now, don't be shy.
What happens if I do this?
Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins.
Kinda cool.
You could be the first and the second and the third and the
That?
rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning
That's water.
my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust.
Just sign there.
Second chance to say I'm nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love, the things I love, the things I love.
deco's not gonna go over top of that, but, so the sign would have to be like out here. Oh no, the sign's too pixel. It's still not gonna go up top though. Let's erase that. Put it over on the other side. So. Copy. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this. I know I'm going to change it all later. There we go. And then the text is Test Cave of Doom. I don't know. Here, there. Skip your song. Got annoying at the end. Cool. Start. Death and despair. Oops. Test Cave of Doom. Yes, it is paused. Simpler than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be pretty complicated. Set time scale for the game. Assuming you're using the right things in the game. And then I also set a variable so that if I need to, I can check that variable to see if it's the game's pause check. Static variable. Anything that's controlled by time, animations, physics, and rigid bodies and things like that. The time scale to 0. You don't do nothing. It says if the game's not paused, then pause it. In the pause, set the time scale to 0. In unpause, we're setting it back to 1. That's simple. The inventory is going to be beyond tonight for sure. Trying to think what else we can get out. Still amount of time here. What if we were to put in place on the always loaded big old 2D sprite that is colored black? And zeroed. And scaled way up, but it has no size right now, I don't think. Because it's nothing. So let's do a new material then. New, create. folder. Create new material. Black. Black, set it all the way transparent. All the way opaque, I mean. And go back over to this and say delete. Do a 3D plane. Particle system, line, trail, light, video, audio, create empty. Do it. And I can just create a quad. Oh, I don't even want to think about stackable items. I made Minecraft mods before. Stackable items are frickin' pain in the butt. It's doable, but it's pain in the butt. Let's scale this thing up. 50. 50. Okay, and it's a black material. And we are going to create an animation on this. And animate on four. Great. Sets. Four. Fade to black and back. Faded black and back. So we're going to add a property of the mesh renderer. I don't let us do it. Oh. I want to animate the material. Crap. I might just have to make a big mesh, or big sprite. I know I can do it in a sprite render. Do that. File new. There. Black. Look at that, my first quick Photoshop. Okay, so now we enter sprite render. Right. Color is all defined there. Fade black. As we change the transparency of it, it changes the visibility of that, right? So good there. We can set this up to 50, 50, all the way black, and on this will be the animator controller. Okay. And say fade to black. Add property, sprite renderer, color. Oh no, color. Come on. Give me one more precision in that, please. Yes. Alpha. I don't care about those. Remove? Move. I only want the alpha value to animate. Yes, there it is. We're gonna go, what? 2 seconds in? Do full black. These backwards, don't I? This needs to be 0. This needs to be 1. And we'll go to there. Back to 0. Holy cow. I don't think that's seconds. I think those are frames. Oh, that's amazing. So let's bump that down a bit. Oops. 10 samples, please. Activator. This was gonna work. Running out of energy, I think. I need to go on the overworld object. Great, I just closed my freaking panel. Project panel. Okay. So on my scenes, my overworld, my sign or cave interaction specifically, it needs to somehow find that object. Which isn't going to be loaded when we're just playing with just this level because it's in a different scene, right? I think I'm just going to add a tag or something to it. Fade object. So in our cave interaction, our cave interact script, the player is going through it. So like right here, we're gonna say find game object dot find game object with tag. Object get component animator start play window animator. Let's just create a trigger. Easier. Fade trigger. I don't want it to play all the time. That might do it. Can we break this one? Oh. I don't want to play anything. I'll do this trigger. Okay. And we can go to code. At trigger. Aid trigger. Boom. As long as none of that error is off. Ever. And so we can save the scene. Close. Did I load? Unload you! Just one. Just once. This one. Okay. How's it gonna go? Start. Not a good effect. Especially because, like, those are over top of it. And it doesn't move with the camera? That's amazing. I can tell that the animator's running repeatedly, right? Something. I take that off. Still just loops. Oh, I know what I need to do. And a new clip. Animator. Done. That is default state. There we go. We'll make this a child of that. That should do it. $60. These way out there. It's definitely flipping the black. Can we make this different color? I don't think it's doing anything. Right now it's flipping through fade to black repeatedly. See the going. Okay, I can see it in the scene view. Okay. And thank you. Thanks for the follow again. Have a good night. Or good morning, I guess, huh? Happy New Year. Got it going to none now. Showing there. I wonder. Okay, so the none state. Right render. Color. Move. Green, red, and blue. Alpha. B0. Zero. There we go. Always loaded. Fade black is set to black. Bring that Z position up. Why is it not over our hero? There we go. Make it a child of the camera that moves with it. Its position 0, 0, and then whatever on that, right? But that's a 0 too, probably. No, we can't. One? Yeah, that works. Okay. And go back to main menu. Play. Start. Not sure why it's blinking more than once. It's a 0. 1. 0. Full visible, not visible. That's on a fade. Oh. Zero for the transition. 0 for the offset. This is gonna have it. Exit time of 1. Transition to 0. Position offset of 0. I think that's what we want. Okay, and then this extend you out for a few more frames or something? So quick. About 10? That dude horse. It's a little way down, right? A 100? Where we gotta go here? I don't think it's even firing. Okay. So the nun is running. It's showing it's blipping super fast right now. But it's 10 then. That's what I wanted. I might even set that to 5 samples. Nice. Yeah, one more time, make sure that that move I just did didn't screw anything up. I think the fade in is too slow. Fade into black. Yeah, it needs to be instant. Start out right at black. Perfect. I did. I'll say 10 maybe again. Nice. I think that's what we're going to call it for the night, guys. Made a lot of progress. A lot of progress. Just basically started with a bunch of pictures. Few animations were made by the person. We got a couple people that subscribed tonight. Thank you, or followed, sorry. Thank you. Citizens of the World. Audacia? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong still. And Phoenix Firewings. Fun. This is what I needed to do. I thank you all for watching, hanging out with me, having a happy New Year's Eve with me. I'll probably be back streaming on New Year's Day. See you next time.